Molly is a friend. Molly is a coworker. Molly is somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past, as she has done when it comes to me. We've been partners on the show for the last 10 years. And a lot of times some of these things happen and it's just uncomfortable to see.
The sports media world was shaken to its core when Molly Qerim, a beloved fixture on ESPN's First Take, vanished from screens overnight. But the real shockwaves erupted with the emergence of explosive, never-before-seen footage featuring Qerim and her co-host Stephen A. Smith, unveiling a raw tension that completely rewrites the narrative of her sudden exit. This isn't just a departure, it's a dramatic unraveling, leaving everyone desperate to know what truly happened behind those closed doors. The footage you're about to see might just hold the key. The unthinkable happened on September 15th, 2025. Molly Qerim, after nearly a decade as the host of ESPN's flagship debate show First Take, abruptly resigned. This wasn't a quiet farewell. It was a seismic jolt that left fans, colleagues, and industry insiders reeling. No farewell tour, no gradual transition, just a clean, swift break that sparked a firestorm of speculation. After almost 20 years with ESPN, Qerim walked away, leaving a void and an undeniable mystery in her wake. The entire sports broadcasting landscape was scrambling to understand what could possibly trigger such an immediate exit from one of its most visible positions.
A lot of times, some of these things happen and it's just uncomfortable to see. The details, quite frankly, are none of y'all business, but it's not as if I know all the details.
The morning after Qerim's stunning announcement, Stephen A. Smith, her co-host and arguably the most recognizable voice in sports media, took to his Sirius XM radio show. What followed was a stark departure from the bombastic persona fans expected. His voice was laced with a palpable, undeniable emotion as he spoke about his now former colleague. This wasn't the usual over-the-top Stephen A. This was a vulnerable, shaken man. But as he continued, his commentary grew cryptic, fueling a wildfire of speculation. A lot of times, some of these things happen, and it's just uncomfortable to see, Smith stated, adding, "The details, quite frankly, are none of y'all business." He insisted he didn't even know all the details, a statement that only deepened the intrigue. What exactly did he mean by uncomfortable to see? What was he holding back and why? This refusal to elaborate only amplified the unanswered questions, turning a dramatic exit into an outright enigma. Smith did offer some concrete details about what precipitated Qerim's departure, though even these revelations seemed to raise more questions than answers. He confirmed it was a contract negotiation that was going on. ESPN certainly did not want to lose her, but in the end, rather, she made a decision to walk away from the show effective immediately. While contract negotiations are notoriously complex, the fact that ESPN reportedly wanted to keep Qerim, yet she chose to walk away, hinted at a fundamental breakdown. Something significant enough to make her abandon a prestigious position that many would consider the pinnacle of sports broadcasting achievement. The official explanation felt too tidy, too professional, for the level of drama that had just unfolded.
It was a contract negotiation that was going on. ESPN certainly did not want to lose her. But in the event, in the end rather, she made a decision to walk away from the show effective immediately. As you see from her Instagram post, her Instagram story,
Qerim herself confirmed her exit through a carefully crafted Instagram post. She thanked the network, fans, and colleagues, calling the decision difficult but necessary, and vaguely hinting at future opportunities. Yet, one name was conspicuously absent from her gracious, professional, and deliberately vague statement: Stephen A. Smith. It was the kind of omission that screamed volumes without uttering a single word, leaving many to wonder about the true state of affairs between the longtime co-hosts. This silence from Qerim only amplified the questions surrounding her exit, but what happened behind the scenes was far more volatile. Then came the allegations that shattered the official narrative. Former ESPN analyst Marcellus Wiley on his Club Shay Shay podcast painted a picture of workplace dynamics and power struggles far beyond mere salary disagreements. Wiley alleged Qerim was seeking a substantial raise, potentially aiming to match or exceed her compensation to reflect her immense value. But here's where the story gets truly explosive. Wiley claimed Stephen A. Smith's influence at ESPN is so profound that when he signs off on you, you get what you want. The damning implication? If Smith had truly advocated for Qerim, her demands could have been met. Wiley's assertion that Smith did not back his co-host of 10 years during these crucial negotiations ultimately led to Qerim's growing frustration and her decision to walk away. Her complete omission of Smith from her farewell statement, Wiley argued, was powerful evidence of ugly business dealings behind the scenes. Someone you've worked with for 10 years, you don't even mention them when you're gone, Wiley pointedly noted. This striking observation resonated with many, underscoring the severity of the unspoken tensions. The plot thickened with additional reports suggesting a significant deterioration in Qerim's professional rapport with Smith in the months leading up to her departure. One particularly damaging claim suggested that a superior of Smith's at ESPN never liked her as a talent. This allegation, if true, implied Qerim faced opposition from multiple power centers within the network, making her position increasingly untenable regardless of her performance. In June 2025, just months before her resignation, a telling moment occurred on air. Qerim interrupted Smith, preventing him from sharing what appeared to be private messages. At the time, it seemed like a minor interruption, but in hindsight, some observers now believe it hinted at growing discomfort with Smith's tendency to blur professional and personal boundaries on national television. But the most persistent and tantalizing rumors surrounding Smith and Qerim have always been about a potential romantic relationship. Speculation reached a fever pitch following Qerim's 2021 divorce from former NBA player Jalen Rose. Gossip blogs and social media exploded with theories that her on-air chemistry with Smith had evolved into something more. The rumors gained additional traction in late 2021 when former NBA player Kwame Brown, in a viral video rant, directly accused Smith of having an affair with Qerim while she was still married to Rose, framing it as insider NBA knowledge. Both Smith and Qerim have vehemently denied these accusations over the years. In April 2024, they even addressed the speculation directly on First Take, with Smith calling the rumors outright lies. Jalen Rose himself, in a 2022 GQ interview, dismissed the claims as laughable, stating that he, Qerim, and Smith had all privately joked about the accusations. He clarified that his divorce stemmed from the challenges of demanding careers, not infidelity. However, the rumors only intensified after Qerim's abrupt resignation, with theories suggesting a hidden romantic relationship that ended badly could explain both her sudden departure and the perceived cooling of her relationship with Smith. Adding another bizarre layer, a woman named Nikita Pearson surfaced in January 2025, claiming to be Smith's girlfriend and accusing Qerim of spreading false sexual assault rumors about Smith, even alleging Qerim had been romantically pursuing him. These claims remain entirely unsubstantiated, firmly in the realm of unverified gossip. Despite the relentless speculation, there is no concrete evidence whatsoever to support claims of a romantic connection between them. The drama continued. Stephen A. Smith wasn't done commenting. In what many interpreted as a thinly veiled critique of Qerim's situation, Smith launched into an extended monologue about leverage, value, and knowing one's place in the media ecosystem. While he repeatedly insisted he was not talking about Molly with these observations, absolutely no one was fooled. The message was clear. Success in sports media requires not just talent, but also a precise understanding of one's market value and negotiating position. This particular statement struck many as especially pointed, implying that Qerim, despite her contributions, may have lacked the necessary leverage, whether in terms of ratings draw, revenue generation, or alternative employment options, to successfully demand the terms she sought from ESPN management. It was a harsh yet telling commentary from his perspective. Despite the turbulent exit, Molly Qerim wasted no time in demonstrating her resilience. On October 1st, 2025, she made her first public media appearance since her ESPN departure, hosting a Q&A session with UConn men's basketball coach Dan Hurley. This move signaled her clear intention to remain a prominent figure in sports media. Unconfirmed reports quickly emerged suggesting a lucrative deal with Fox Sports, potentially involving Qerim covering NFL games, college football, and high-profile NCAA basketball. This would represent a significant expansion of her role beyond the debate show format, allowing her to showcase new facets of her broadcasting talents and reach new audiences. Her swift re-emergence implies a calculated move, not a retreat. The way Molly Qerim left First Take, coupled with her deliberately vague public statement omitting Stephen A. Smith, powerfully suggests there's much more to this story than what has been publicly disclosed. Former colleagues and industry insiders point to these omissions and the abruptness of her departure as evidence of behind-the-scenes problems and tensions that transcended simple contract disagreements. Speculation has ranged from Qerim wanting Smith to advocate more forcefully on her behalf, to resentment over his own massive contract extension. Some wonder if she felt fundamentally undervalued compared to Smith, especially after a decade as an integral part of First Take. Adding another layer of intrigue, Qerim revealed in her departure statement that someone at ESPN had leaked the announcement of her leaving before she was ready to make it public. This premature disclosure clearly upset her, hinting at a breakdown in professional relationships that extended beyond just her partnership with Smith. Online discussions on Reddit and X have been ablaze with theories, from hidden romantic entanglements to workplace tensions. One popular comment on Reddit encapsulated the sentiment: Stephen Smith for all these years. She deserves better, reflecting a view that Qerim endured difficult conditions alongside one of sports media's most dominant personalities. The timing of Smith mentioning having a girlfriend on air shortly after Qerim's departure was even noted by some social media users as kind of funny, fueling the long-standing rumors. The intense public curiosity about the personal and professional dynamics that led to the dissolution of one of sports television's most successful partnerships remains. The messy end to this partnership, not with a celebration but with mystery, speculation, and apparent hard feelings, marks a disappointing conclusion to what should have been remembered as one of sports television's great collaborations. Whatever the complete truth of what happened between Stephen A. Smith and Molly Qerim, whether it involves contract disputes, workplace tensions, personal conflicts, or a potent combination of all three, it serves as a stark reminder. Even the most successful professional partnerships can come to difficult and messy ends when egos, money, power dynamics, and personal feelings collide in the high-pressure world of television broadcasting. What are your thoughts on Molly Qerim's shocking departure and the unfolding drama? Share in the comments below and click on the cards on screen for more incredible stories from the world of sports.